What's up, YouTube? ODST General back again with another Starship Simulator update. And today, guys, the tech demo has finally been updated, and you guys are now able to check out this new update yourselves if you guys have access to the demo. It has been a long time coming. We did have a bit of a frame drop there when we stepped into this room for some reason, too. But Cold and Dark Start Tutorial, we showed that off a few weeks ago. That is now finally in, and I think it should be completely finalized at this point, unless, you know, for whatever reason there's some sort of necessity to majorly change those aspects of engineering, but that has all been updated. And it's now ready, so there's voice tutorials basically ready to go for that. We have engineering updates, which includes visual improvements to the engineering area, and obviously overhauls to the engineering systems, which includes fluids and all that stuff that was set up for the Cold and Dark Start tutorial. We've got multiplayer updates, so now if you're in a multiplayer game, you can now see things like the players in your game. You can password protect your servers. You can put players in the brig or mute them if they're, you know, misbehaving, stuff like that. So if you want to have a public game, but, you know, there's some sort of bad actor, you can now deal with them and still leave the game public for everybody else to join you. There was prop system updates, which I was just kind of showing off to you guys a little bit. You can now manipulate objects by holding down Q. R will reset the objects. They make noises when they interact with the environment, although these are, of course, placeholder noises and stuff like that. And, you know, other players in multiplayer will see these items. They're able to interact with them, so you can kind of play catch or whatever else. It is possible for somebody to catch an item midair if you throw it at them, and their timing's good enough. So a lot of fun there with the props to be had, just kind of busy work. There isn't any functional props or anything yet still, but just nice little tweak and stuff that's been made there. Then we have the engine upgrade. The engine was upgraded to Unreal Engine 5.3.2, which allows them to have nanite support and other various features. The nanite support is going to mean a lot more detailed models at a much lower cost of resources. You're not really going to see this through most of the ship yet, but certain parts of engineering, you're going to see things like highly detailed lug nuts and stuff like that, where, you know, normally you'd see normals and a very basic model that's kind of tweaked to look nice at a distance, but doesn't really hold up upon, like, really close inspection. Like, really fine details like that are going to look much nicer as a result now. That might result in a little bit longer time in development. I guess we'll have to wait and see on that. I don't know, but definitely a much nicer looking ship in the long run because of it. And yeah, I mean, that's basically been the update for the last several months, and it doesn't sound like a lot when you're just doing the bullet points, but there was a lot of work that went into this. I know the developer's been pretty busy. He's going to take a bit of a break from developing the game here, from what I understand, to focus on some back-end stuff like their Kickstarter and doing some Discord changes and shuffling stuff around as needed for that. With that being said, he has been working on the exterior of the ship. The exterior of the ship looks like it's going to be seeing a major overhaul. So if we hop into the seat here, we'll hop on out, if I can remember the controls for the ship. There we go. So the ship is basically going to be extended out in the front and the back. It's going to be made a little bit longer, a little bit more oblong, less circular. Looks kind of like the new ship design kind of looks a little bit like Voyager, very loosely, but then they're also going to be putting a ring around the ship, which will be the ship's warp or slip or quantum drive, whatever you want to call it. It's faster than light travel drive, basically, is going to be a ring that'll go around the ship. So it's going to have a very unique look in terms of design, and it's going to look much more detailed than this. I think the goal that Dan, the developer, has is that this will be basically the exterior of the ship fully completed, so that way he can put the ship up in trailers and stuff like that. Following that, then we'll get planetary scanning updates and stuff like that, so you're going to be able to go in and actually scan the planets and everything. That's probably going to be a little bit longer out, so we're probably looking months plural for that. Again, it's going to be kind of dependent on how long, I guess, the ship exterior takes and when they're shooting for the Kickstarter. But once we get the ship exterior and everything modeled, I'm not sure how different the ship interior is going to be as a result, but I would definitely expect some changes there. And that could mean potentially a lot more work on the interior, depending on how drastically certain parts of it are going to change. It looks like the front of the ship probably shouldn't see too much in the way of changes. It's going to mostly be the back of the ship, which should hopefully mean that any changes to the ship are going to be fairly minimal because the area most impacted is already very, very work in progress and very rough. So hopefully that is the case at least, but I'm not really certain if we're going to know that for sure or not. Now, if we run back here, I'm trying to remember what deck the shuttle bay is on here, so you're gonna have to forgive me because I don't have this as memorized quite as well as I should. I think we're actually in the fore of the ship here. We're going to the fore, but we can get to the shuttle bay. We have this for the decks. We can there we go. Okay, so we got the probe handling facility in the back here. We can take a look at that, but yeah. We got probe handling. I can't remember if there's a staircase back here by probe handling. Pretty sure there is, yeah. Right here. There we go, there's the shuttle bay. So we got the shuttle bay here. If we can get down one more level. Right here, and take a quick look at the brig. So this is the makeshift brig for the time being. The brig will actually probably end up being here in the final version too, again, depending on how much the ship gets impacted by these exterior changes. But the developer said he wants to keep the brig close to the shuttle bay, that way any potential prisoners that are being brought on board are kept generally away from the crew in potentially sensitive areas and are easy to transfer on and off the ship, which makes a lot of sense. But yeah, pretty basic brigs. Unfortunately, you can't open them at all, so the only way to get out of the brig is if the host of the game actually lets you out of the brig. Yeah, that is all we have to talk about for right now, guys. I would love to keep talking about the game, but there really isn't too much for me to say that I haven't already said. So if you guys want to know more about the game, I'm happy to answer any other questions you might have, and of course any other updates that come out. I'm going to try to keep you guys surprised as best as reasonably possible with this title, because I'm very excited about it personally. So thank you guys for watching. Take it easy, and I will see you all in the next one.